Hello, my favorite people. Today we'll be checking out more Formula One content because you guys just seem to be really enjoying them. But someone actually requested that I do a video like this because I was asking how the heck they're able to do pit stops like that on all corners of the car in under 1 minute when there's such high pressure, high stakes, and so many different pieces and people involved in like what's happening. And so someone said I should watch a video called Formula One Pit Stops Explained so that I can really see the intricacies and see and understand how it all goes about. So that's what we're doing today. Subscribe if you're new here, like the video, help me get to 10K on Instagram, check out the Patreon for more content. Like, y'all, actually, I gotta pick on y'all for a second. Y'all were lying. You said I could react to Formula One official videos. That is not true at all. They get blocked instantly. So all those reactions are over on Patreon from now on. But yeah, let's get into this one and see how the heck they're able to do these pit stops. Because I know I would be fumbling. I would drop a lug nut. I don't know. I wouldn't plug in the power gun to take off the wheel. Something would go wrong. So let's see how they're able to manage.
In Formula One, you might have heard a radio message during the Grand Prix asking a driver to box. In other words, the racing team asking the driver to come in for a pit stop. In this video, we will discuss all about Formula One pit stops.
I also think it's really cool how the team is like, it's basically like the team is also the driver. Like they see how far they are from the other drivers, how much they need to speed up or slow down, or how the car is doing. Like they're able to monitor everything, like every aspect of the race.
Let's start by looking at the pit stop crew. The crew consists of 18 members.
Jesus. Rear jacker. That's another thing. I was saying, because there's 4 points on a car, right, when you want to change a tire. And usually but I didn't even think that you could jack it from the front and back just to get it up real quick. So there's a rear jacker, there's a front jacker, rear tire on, rear tire off, tire gunner, stabilizer. Jesus Christ. So there's not even just like a pit stop team, there's a whole tire and corner of the car team. What the hell is a lollipop man? He hands out suckers? Good job, team. Here's a sucker.
There are 4 wheel gunners, one for each wheel of the car. They use a pneumatic wrench known as a tire gun to remove the car's single locking lug nut from each tire.
So no need for the star maneuver. He said there's a single lug nut, a single thing that keeps the whole wheel on? One lug nut? That's interesting. Why haven't we done that to automobiles on the road, like the normal man? Why do we have to have 5? If they have 1, why can't we have 1?
And then reinstall it on the new tire. There are 8 tire carriers, 2 for each wheel of the car. They work in tandem with the wheel gunners. Once the wheel nut has been loosened, the old tire is removed by one carrier, and a new tire is put in place by another.
Oh, no. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Oh my God, gunner comes in, brah, the tire offer, brah, tire honor, boom. Then you drill it back on, the tire's ready to go just like that. Gosh dang it. But it's the driller guy who has a lot of pressure on him, because if you, like, say you miss the bolt or whatever and you hit the rim, well, you just damage the rim, but also you've wasted time.
It's removed by one carrier,
that was
a new
so
tire
beautiful.
is put in place by another.
That was
After
so
the car
nice.
has been lifted up, 2 stabilizers stabilize the car on each side at the middle of the car.
Also, it doesn't look like there's much of a jack point, though. It looks like they're just, like the front lip or the front spoiler is what they're jacking it from. Which I would think it would get damaged or break. Unless these cars are like really light and the jacks are just lightweight pumpers.
Stabilizers stabilize the car on each side at the middle of the car. There's a front wing man who, if necessary, adjusts the front wing angle of the car to provide more or less downforce. This can be done while the tires are being changed. In the event that there is damage, the front wing man will change the entire front wing. This can take some time.
Oh, wow.
The strategy as to if and how much the front wing should be adjusted is discussed prior to the pit stop.
How do they... See, that's what I was saying, how the team can, like, monitor everything from just... I don't know what they call it, but, like, from the pit crew area, they're able to see everything. And, like, the whole front... Not suspension, but the whole front end of the Formula One car is just held on by 4 bolts, it seems. See, I was sitting here thinking these cars are so intricate, but... You remember when you were a kid and you had to make those model cars out of, like, cardboard and they just piece together type of thing? That's what this is. And it kind of explains why whenever they get hit or hit a wall, everything combusts so much. Because it's not very for as much money as it seems they're putting into these cars, they don't seem like super, like Mercedes, how there's so many different moving parts and electronics. These Formula cars kind of seem more simple, I guess, with their put togetherness, not their formula, like precision and everything. The aerodynamics is still crazy, but just the pieces themselves.
The strategy as to if and how much the front wing should be adjusted is discussed prior to the pit stop. You will often hear radio messages by the driver asking for more or less wing. This is referring to how much he wants the front wing man to adjust the front wing angle. There's a front jack man who will lift the car as soon as the car stops on its mark. This is considered the most dangerous position in the pit crew because
I said good brakes, but then the pinkies come through. Pepto-Bismol last team. Driver was like, I don't know what he was doing, but he almost took out the jacker.
Because if the driver fails to stop for any reason,
and now you've wasted time.
Can be seriously injured.
Yeah.
The rear jack man comes in behind the car after the front has been lifted up and lifts the back of the car up. Nice. There's also one crew member who is a...
Jesus Christ. We're not... Hold on. The jacker, it's a weird looking jack, not gonna lie. It looks just odd. If you've been to New York City, then you see people on the trains or just walking around with those little carts to put their groceries in. That's what that kind of looks like.
There's also one crew member who is a fire extinguisher. He's always ready in case
Where's the
there's
driver?
On fire or fire in the car.
The driver didn't get out?
Formula 1 is unique in that both drivers use the same pit crew. This is different than other motorsports where you might have seen each driver having their own pit crew and pit area. The pit lane has a strict speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour or 80 kilometers per hour depending on the track.
It's like when you go boating.
The FIA can enforce penalties or fines for violating the speed limit.
Ooh.
To avoid this situation, drivers have a pit stop button on their steering wheel, which when pressed will keep them within the speed limit designated for the race.
That's cool. But my thing is, if the fee is not too bad, like I would rather just risk it. That way I can get into the pit area faster, get my shit done, and then take off quicker. Because isn't, like, you're going to make more money if you win the race anyway, so isn't a little loss by violating the speed worth it?
You might be wondering, what about refueling? And how does a driver know when the tire change is complete? Let's start.
The team like yells on the radio, right?
Refueling was allowed in Formula 1 until 2010, but it was banned for safety reasons.
Fire.
If you see some of the older Formula 1 videos, like when Michael Schumacher was in his prime for Ferrari, you will see that there's a refueling man who was part of the pit crew. Refueling was a big part of the race strategy as well, because drivers could start the race with low fuel loads and then fuel up more during the middle of the race. In today's Formula 1, this element of the strategy has been taken out. All cars start with a full fuel load. Of course, teams fuel the car with as little fuel as needed to complete the race as possible. This is why you will often hear radio messages during the race asking drivers to manage for fuel. Although it rarely happens, the worst possible way for a driver's day to come to an end would be to run out of fuel during the race.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they put as little in as they think they need. Why not? I mean, is it weight thing? Like a weight? Too much weight on the car, but if you need fuel to run.
Now let's look at how a driver knows when a pit stop is complete. In the past, you would have seen a lollipop man holding a stick.
Lollipop, here we go.
Would turn from stop to go to let the driver know when to leave. In today's Formula 1, a driver is notified when he can leave the pit stop through an electronic light system. When the car is parked for a pit stop, the light is red. When the pit stop is complete, the light turns green and the driver can drive away.
But I still see like what looks like a lollipop man. He's just holding the electrified stop sign. So it's just been modernized. It's still a lollipop thing. It's just electronic now. I would have just kept the little flipper. Save money.
And the driver can drive away. Different members of the pit crew have to click a button to confirm that their job is complete before the light turns green.
Safer.
For example, each wheel gunner has to press a button confirming that the new tire has been securely installed. In addition, a spotter will have to click a button confirming that there's no traffic before this light turns green.
Safety.
Now let's take a quick look at pit stop strategy. In Formula 1, the ideal time to take a pit stop is during a safety car or a virtual safety car. This is because all cars on track are forced to drive at a slower speed, either following the safety car or abiding by the virtual safety car speed limits. During this time, the effective time lost will be less than under normal
if everyone's driving
conditions.
slower.
In a typical racing scenario, the most common strategies employed are the overcut and the undercut. Look out for a future video where I will talk about these strategies in detail. Now Isn't
that like where you get ahead by staying on the inside kind of thing?
I'd like to hear from you. Do you think that refueling should be brought back to Formula One?
No, because if your car freaking blows up and there's fire, why would you want gasoline like accessible right there? That would just make matters worse. But like I like that it pointed out more the guy with the gun, the tire honor, and the tire offer. I know that's not the proper terminology, but you get what I mean. And then seeing like the jackers and how they've employed more safety measures, even though I still think the little flippy spatula thing, like flipping a pizza, was great, but they have modernized it to now where every member has to like say, yes, I'm ready, and then the driver can take off. So I think they've just really implemented more safety stuff, but I like the process of seeing how the pit stops work. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe if you're new here, let me know what other content you want me to do on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!